Nick Reiner's one-year mental health conservatorship is now at the center of his defense in the shocking December 14th stabbing deaths of his parents, Rob and Michele Reiner. Sources say this rare L.P.S. conservatorship, focused on medical treatment rather than finances, could provide crucial context as he faces 2 counts of first-degree murder with special circumstances. Deadline confirms the youngest son of the A Few Good Men director and his photographer wife was under this court-approved arrangement from 2020 to 2021. Unlike the long-term financial conservatorships seen with celebrities like Britney Spears, Reiner's conservatorship was aimed at overseeing his mental health care, medications, and treatment. At 32, Reiner has battled addiction for years, with his parents publicly regretting the tough love strategies pushed by addiction specialists. He had been living with Rob and Michele in Brentwood for weeks before the tragic deaths, occurring on the first night of Hanukkah last year. According to now-sealed medical examiner reports, the victims suffered multiple sharp force injuries. While the conservatorship adds no new claims of schizophrenia or medication issues, insiders tell Deadline, this adds a whole new layer to Reiner's struggles and his defense. It certainly makes the job of the public defenders a little easier if they put up insanity or mental health as their case. The conservatorship, first reported by the New York Times, was not renewed 5 years ago, a detail that could impact both prosecution and defense strategies. Overseen by fiduciary Stephen Baer, now likely a key witness, he told the NYT, "Psychological problems in society are an epidemic that is widely misunderstood, and this is a horrible tragedy." The LA County Public Defender's Office, which took over after high-profile attorney Alan Jackson withdrew from the case last week, declined to comment. Kimberly Green now leads the defense and met Nick Reiner for the first time on January 7th during a brief 30-second interaction in court. Jackson, however, recently spoke about his withdrawal from the case.
After days of speculation, shock, and legal buzz, the powerful lawyer who suddenly walked away from the Nick Reiner murder case is finally speaking. Alan Jackson, one of America's most high-profile criminal defense attorneys, has finally broken his silence. Not to explain what happened, not to clarify the mystery, but to tell the public exactly what he cannot say. And what he did say only deepened the questions. Attorney Alan Jackson addressed his abrupt exit from the Nick Reiner case during a January 13th appearance on SiriusXM's Let's Talk Off Camera with Kelly Ripa, his first public comments since stunning the courtroom by quitting the case. His single sentence and emphasis on ethical obligations instantly reignited buzz across legal circles and Hollywood alike, because lawyers don't say that lightly. In criminal law, ethical withdrawal typically involves strict legal standards, conflicts, breakdowns, or circumstances that prevent effective representation. But attorneys are prohibited from explaining those details publicly. That silence isn't evasive, it's the rule. Jackson says he stepped away because he had no choice. He says he followed the rules. He says he acted in his client's best interest. And he says that's all he can say. Jackson wasn't just any attorney on this case. He was hired to defend Nick Reiner, the 32-year-old charged with murdering his parents, legendary filmmaker Rob Reiner and his wife, Michele Reiner. A brutal double homicide, a high-profile family, and enormous legal stakes. Jackson's involvement signaled a top-tier aggressive defense. So when he suddenly stepped away, without explanation, the world noticed. The shock came in open court. On January 7th, standing before Judge Teresa McGonigal, Jackson made a brief but stunning announcement.
Your Honor, at this time, I, on behalf of Orton Jackson and Quinn, and with Mr. Reiner's understanding and consent, would ask to withdraw as counsel of record based on the conversation that we've had in chambers and the explanation that we've provided to the court in chambers. We feel that we have no choice at this juncture but to withdraw as counsel and ask to be relieved.
No elaboration, no argument, just a clean exit. Within moments, the Public Defender's Office was assigned to take over the case, and the questions exploded. Jackson addressed that speculation directly later the same day during an appearance on Billy Bush's Hot Mics podcast. When Bush suggested money or retainers might be involved, Jackson shut it down immediately. While Jackson refused to explain why he left, he repeatedly stressed one point. He emphasized that the decision was made to ensure Nick Reiner receives the most robust defense possible, even if that defense no longer includes him. He also expressed confidence in the Public Defender's Office now handling the case.
This morning, I had to withdraw as Nick Reiner's counsel. Circumstances beyond our control, but more importantly, circumstances beyond Nick's control, have dictated that, sadly, it's made it impossible for us to continue our representation of Nick. And you can take this to the bank, is that pursuant to the laws of this state, pursuant to the law in California, Nick Reiner is not guilty of murder. Print that. Print that.
Nick Reiner remains behind bars as he faces 2 counts of first-degree murder. If convicted, he could spend the rest of his life in prison or face the death penalty. With a new defense team now in place, every move from here forward becomes critical.